Good morning, everybody. This is your host, Glenn Druin. I'd like to talk to you today about recovery. Recovery didn't come easy for me. I've been using hard and strong 4.5 years ago for 4 years. I've lived a long life and I certainly enjoyed it until I fell down and lost my career to be a truck driver, professional driver institute out in Rochester, New York here. My story is not that long, but it is inspiring. I got heavy into DXM, which is dextromorphin, cough syrup, if you will. Basically like over-the-counter Robitussin, and I've been using alcohol and doing heroin and Xanax and Adderall and anything I could really get my hands on. I lost the mother of my child because I was using cough syrup almost every single day of my life. I started off at 600 milligrams, then I went to 900 milligrams, and then 1400 milligrams of DXM. It was a crazy time in my life. I left my house where the mother of my child and my daughter lived and moved over to my grandmother's house because I thought I was a failure and believed to be a failure. I had all my hopes and dreams shattered because when I was driving in truck driving school at Professional Driver Institute, I was using. And when I went to go pull back into the school, confident as I was, didn't realize that the trailer was connected to the front end of the truck, and I ran the trailer over a giant boulder where when you pull into the school, there was guardrails there, and I ran it over, and the school had to call a tow truck company to be able to lift up the back of the trailer to roll the boulder out. They gave me one chance after that to be able to redeem myself. So the next day I went to talk to my doctor to prescribe me some Klonopin, which is 2 milligrams. They were okay with me being prescribed Adderall at the Truck Driver Institute, but when I was prescribed Klonopin, that's when everything went downhill. I took more than the dose that I was supposed to take the next day during driving class. During my driving session, I ended up hitting a couple stop signs with the back of the trailer, and from then on there, they continued to kick me out of the school, and $5,000 went down the drain. So with my defeat and my sorrow, I drove back home to face the mother of my child and my daughter and let them know that I failed. To let them know that drugs have taken a hold of my life and that I needed help. But did I get help? Absolutely not. I left the house in anger and moved over to my grandmother's house. And then the whole hell journey began. For 4.5 years, I've been using every single day. I would wake up in the morning, try to figure out my next fix. Try to figure out what can get me high so I can forget the things that I was thinking about, so I could forget the suffering in my brain. You see, I'm an emotionally unstable person. I've been diagnosed at such a young age. I have abandonment issues. My sign is a Sagittarius. I am a person that likes to see people smile. I love to see people happy, and that's what makes me happy. So continuing on to live with my grandmother, this whole cycle and spiral went downhill. Like I said, I wake up every day to figure out how to get the next fix. Figure out how to get high so I don't think no more. I used to be a really big guy, and now I got that back after 6 months of sobriety. And, I lost all that weight, got skinny, not eating, consuming 600 to 900 to 1400 milligrams of DXM daily. I recently got locked up and had to go to jail for about a month when I was with this new girl that I met. She held me down for the longest time when I was in jail. I went to jail because not too long ago, the mother of my child cheated on me, and I caught her talking to her high school sweetheart on the phone. I took her phone in the middle of the night outside and smashed it on the ground and started screaming at her and yelling at her. The neighbors called the cops on me because of harassment, and throughout court I tried fighting it after the charge, and they wanted me to go to rehab. I went to rehab about 6 times, and after the 6th time they said, we can't just do this anymore. We have to send you to jail. So I went to jail for a whole month, and then this girl that I was dating then held me down and kept me secure. Now, the whole process in which I'm trying to get to this is that I had the ability to be able to change my life, but did not continue to use drugs and not take my sobriety seriously. Now, this also turned and make a twist in my life, because what happened was I got out of jail, and the mother of my child realized I was out of jail, but I would not talk to her. The girl I was dating was coming over every other weekend and seeing me and spending time with me, even though I had nothing, even though I lost my job, my car, my dignity, everything. And I just felt like shit even more after I got out of jail. You know, the girl that I was dating, her name was Mallory, and she did a lot for me. I also burned her down to the ground too. You know, when I was in jail, the worst thing that I could ever fear was going to jail when I was a child, and I did. And it really put a scar on me. It really made my life even worse, and I continued to go further downhill from there. I decided to hang out with my girlfriend one weekend, and I talked to her and I said, you know, I keep using, you know, I need some more help. I need to go back to inpatient. So I went to inpatient at Hope Haven here in Batavia, New York, and she held me down every single day since I've been in there. I was actually engaged to this girl and had a, you know, engagement ring on my finger, and it was kind of like a promise ring, if you will. And when I was in the facility, I met another girl, her name's Nicole, and I ended up sleeping with her at the facility, thus cheating on my fiance, Mallory, at the time, and ruining that too as well. I got out of inpatient and I hung out with this girl that I cheated on, and my fiance called at the worst time. I was in the car with this girl that I was cheating on, and she called me, and the girl that I told I wasn't with Mallory anymore, my fiance, she found out that my fiance was still calling me, and then she picked up the phone and said, oh, hey, I'm sleeping with your boyfriend and all that. He's done with you. Don't call him again. Bye. And then she hung up. So that really fucked up my fiance. I left this girl that I cheated on her with, only hanging out with her for a couple days. I went back to my fiance and we tried to work it out. So she was still scarred. She was still in pain. And just to make matters worse, I was using even more heavy. I was doing 1,400 milligrams of DXM a day, on top of doing mad Xanax, drinking lots of alcohol and everything that you could ever imagine, anything I could get my hands on. And whenever my fiance would come over and try to work things out with me, every time I tried to sleep with her, my dick wouldn't work, because when you take DXM, it doesn't make you sexually active in any shape or form. If anything, it just makes you not want to have sex at all. So I wasn't giving her her needs, and things were spiraling downhill. And she was starting to talk to other guys on Facebook and starting to meet other guys on Facebook ever since that whole incident happened with me and her. And it just fucked up my life. I mean, I remember the day I got out of jail, the day after, I went straight back to the bottle of DXM and I took 900 milligrams right off the cuff, right after being abstinent from drugs for a whole month. And then what happened was, I was in the mall and I was tripping. I literally thought that I was still in jail at the mall, and I could not get out because I thought the mall was jail. That's how fucked up I was after I got out. Fast forward a little bit back to where I was. Me and the relationship with my ex-girlfriend didn't work out because of the fact that, you know, I wasn't giving her needs. Things were still going to go south, and I just wasn't being the perfect fiance, if you will. I cheated on her and did her dirty also by doing all these drugs. On top of that, I was also ordering K2 from California, which is illegal here in New York, ordering K2 from California through the mail with money that was not mine, that I have stolen, and you know, ordered that and kept using K2. I ended up freaking out one night with my girlfriend there, and thinking that I died. And I came to, and I thought someone destroyed my whole room. I thought there was someone in my closet. And in actuality, there wasn't. It was just me who destroyed the room. I thought I was dying, but the cops came in, knocked on my door, took the K2 from me, and sent me to the hospital because I thought I literally died. I thought there was someone in my room, and I was tweaking out, and I went to an episode, if you will. So, anyways, fast forward a little bit more. I was doing K2 every single day, smoking weed. I was, drinking cough syrup at a ritualistic time at 3 o'clock every single day. And at night, I would continue to use more. I would drink like 5 24-ounce Natty Daddies at night, get a whole 18 pack of Natty Daddies, do whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, at this point, my grandmother was enabling me. She was, buying me the alcohol. I asked her for money, telling her I was going to buy other things, but continued to buy cough syrup and DXM. Now, the whole thing with me and my girlfriend at the time, Mallory, my fiance, I found out that she was cheating on me. One night I called her up and another guy answered the phone. This guy said, "Yo, bro," he's like, "I don't mean to be a dick, but I'm fucking your girlfriend." She's like, "Now she's my girlfriend," and all that. I was shattered. My heart was fucking broken. I knew that the karma came back to me, and I knew that it fucked me up. And I knew that the drug use and everything else fucked me up. So I hung up the phone, and then I got into a huge battle with this guy over and over and over again, texting him, calling him, telling him how much a piece of shit he is, how much I want to fight him, how angry I am at him. But in all actuality, it wasn't his fault. It was my fault because I got my karma back. So now that I have also baby mama drama on top of it all, the mother of my child is dating a heroin addict, which is 10 times worse than being the type of addict that I am. At least that's what I was thinking at the time. But now I am smart enough to know that an addict is an addict is an addict, no matter what drug it is. But now I have this guy talking to my ex-girlfriend and this other guy that's with my baby mom, who's a heroin addict, who's been watching my daughter every single day when she went to work, not knowing what he's doing. He had CPS called on him like a handful of times. I'd say about like 5 times. And, he was driving drunk and all that with my daughter in the car. So anyways, long story short, she dubbed him and she dropped him off. He's actually in jail right now, believe it or not, after all this crap that he's been doing. I actually pulled up on him on Father's Day and beat his ass because all that shit he was talking on Facebook, I could not deal with it no more. I had to handle it and I had to take care of it like men. And when you're a man and you talk shit on Facebook about another man, you better handle your shit whenever I approach you. I mean, that's how you're supposed to do it. That's what men do. Anyways, after all this camaraderie and all this shit that's going on in my life, I'm just spiraling down even worse, getting thinner, getting more sickly, just isolating myself in my room. Everything's been shit. And then all of a sudden I realized to myself that, you know what, I'm about to snap. One night I drank too much, popped too much Xanax, did too much Kratom. Obviously, I tried getting away from cough syrup for a couple days, but then did not help. I ended up doing more than I did normally. And then on that fateful night, actually it's not so fateful, on that terrible night, I just cracked. So the place I was staying at, my grandmother's house, I was so fucked up. I punched holes in her wall, got mad at her. She went next door to the neighbor's house to call the cops on me. When she did that, I said, "Yo, fuck it. I'm gonna destroy the whole house." So what I did was, I destroyed her whole fucking house with my fist and my feet, my foot. I smashed bay windows. I punched a hole through the TV. I punched a hole through the walls. I fucking threw a fucking chair out of her bay window. I destroyed the whole house from top to bottom in a mere 10 minutes because of my rage. And when the cops came and come to get me, I ran away. I booked it into the woods. But then I realized that I had to accept my fate for what it was. I walked back home, had this hoodie over me, had the hood over my head, and I walked in the middle of the night back to my grandmother's house saying, "Oh, what happened?" Acting like I didn't know what happened. A cop pointed a gun at me straight up in the middle of the night and told me to get my hands and knees on the ground. So I did that slowly, and the cop grabbed me by the neck and pulled me up. He said, "Do you know what the fuck you just did? You got a felony, motherfucker. How could you do that to your grandmother?" And now I realized at that moment that it kicked in my head that I'm gonna be going to prison. I said, my life is fucking over. Glenn, you can forget your daughter, you can forget your future, it's all done. That was it. That night I cracked, literally wide open, and I hit my rock bottom. That was the worst moment of my life, and I will never forget it. So what happened was I got sent to a holding cell. From there, I realized that I was gonna be in jail for quite some time. I fought long and hard, day by day. I sat to myself, and I thought to myself, I got on my hands and knees and brought God back into my life, because I used to be a satanic worshiper. I used to be a Satanist. But now I got on my hands and knees and brought God back into my life. And ever since that day, God has been blessing me to the utmost highest. Every single day in jail, I would be motivated. I would be happy because I'm in a safe spot. I'm not able to use. I'm able to do what I'm supposed to be doing. I was 161 soaking wet when I got into jail. When I came out, I was 192 and still growing to this day. All I would do every single day in that jail cell was talk to my Lord and Savior God, work out, eat, sleep, talk to my Lord and Savior God, work out, eat, and sleep, get advice from other individuals, keep healthy, keep a positive attitude, keep a positive influence, because that is what got me by. Now, by God's grace, He had my back. We talked to a lawyer, and the lawyer put me into a program that was called Drug Court / Mental Health Court here in Rochester, New York. And what happened was I was fighting for that. I was fighting for my last chance, because if I didn't get this chance, I would have been sent upstate to Attica to prison. And you know what? I was not ready for that. I was not ready for prison. I will never be ready for prison. I ended up sitting in jail for 4 months by God's grace, and they let me out and put me on the mental health court / drug court program. So my life is starting to take a turn. Everything is starting to get better. I ended up going into an inpatient again, a Norris facility, Norris inpatient. And I ended up working out there too, eating healthy, talking to people, having camaraderie with people that want to stay sober, doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And it just motivated me even harder. Waited and waited and waited for a halfway house. Currently, right now as I'm making this video, I'm in the halfway house here in Rochester, New York, living my best life. Got into this halfway house, started getting set up, figured out the rules. You know, I'm basically getting into programs, doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I plan on becoming a peer recovery coach specialist, to be able to coach people and let them know that it is possible to be able to change your life around and make a difference. Being and living in this halfway house has motivated me highly, and I suggest that if you are in the same predicament that I am in, is to look into the program, figure out what you got, figure out what your needs are, and then try to get yourself into an inpatient and then transition to a halfway house and then transition into supportive living. Now, this long journey that I had was a long struggle, and it was difficult. And anybody that's going through a problem with addiction, such as heroin, alcohol, Xanax, whatever it may be, a drug is a drug is a drug. If you're addicted to something and you need help, seek out help. There are people out there that are going to be able to want to help you. You know, I came from rock bottom, and I'm slowly coming back to the top. I learned to take it a day at a time, and I learned to be able to pray to my Lord and my God and my Savior, Jesus Christ. So the whole point of this story is I want to be able to motivate people out there. I want to be able to let them know that I had a story. I had a good life before all the drugs and everything, before I had a child. 4.5 years ago, that's when my life was in shambles. But even prior to that, I had my shit together. I had a job, I had my own place, I had cars, I had the women, and I was doing what I was supposed to be doing. But then I got older, and then life took a hold on me like a snake, like a viper, digging its fucking fangs into my throat and sucking the life out of me. And then, you know, falling into that drug habit, either it be heroin, you know, been sniffing heroin, I've been fucking, I don't never injected it, I would never touch a needle like that, but drinking alcohol, you know, popping Xanax, snorting Xanax, you know, cocaine, whatever it may be, whatever I can do, weed, whatever, get my hands on, I would put it in my system. And I didn't give a fuck. I just wanted to be able to make this feeling go away. And it was never the way I wanted it to be. It was never going to be that first high. It never was. But my whole point of the story is to be able to let you guys know that change yourself. Change is inevitable. It can happen. If you want to make your life better, then make it better. It's all a progress. It's all a process. You know, if you're into NA or AA meetings, you can go talk to people. You'll be able to tell people your story and let them know what's going on in your life. You know what? When people tell their stories, not only are they helping you, they're helping themselves, because that's the whole process of it. I'm just here today to be able to tell you that no matter what you're going through, a lot of people go through it, and there's always hope. There always is. You know, I'm not no Dr. Phil, I'm not no professional, coach, but I can let you know my story and tell you how it feels to be able to be in this field. I have a long process and a long, long road ahead of me still, and I have almost 7 months clean to this day. You know, even though 4 months of it was in jail, it doesn't matter. I'm still clean to this day. And, if you need any more advice, any more conversations, feel free to be able to comment down below. I would love to hear your feedback, and I would love to hear your stories. So keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that we all go through some stuff. I'm alone right now, yes, but I learned to love myself. They say within the first year not to get in a relationship, and I'm taking that advice. I love being me. I love loving myself. And you know what? One day that right person will come into my life, and I'll treat them the way that I want to be treated, and I'll treat them the right way and the best way I possibly can. But right now, it's me and God. That's my relationship. So I'd like to thank you all for listening to my story, for those who listened. And if you like this, please like this. And if you'd like to subscribe to my channel, please subscribe to it. I'm going to be starting to make motivational videos. Also, I'm going to be making some motivational videos at the gym. Some different types of workouts, because that's what I want to do with my life. So please like this, subscribe, and comment below. You guys have a great day. Yours truly, Glenn Druin. Have out. Peace out.